It's exhausting to perform professionalism day after day, year after year, masked relentlessly. And I'm just here to say we don't have to.
That's right. We absolutely do not. All today's show is so good.
But number one, I've never seen an intro like that.
It is my hope and desire that not only will episode 30 still be fun, but episode 300 will be even more fun. You are made for something great, so go and be awesome.
Ten seconds remaining.
And welcome to the show. My name is Renee Hastings, and I'm your host of Renee Speaks. Y'all, this episode is brought to you by Executive Help Now and powered by Livestream Editors. At Executive Help Now, we are all about simplifying your business so you can focus on what really matters. From streamlining operations and managing your back office to producing podcast shows and keeping everything organized, our team is here to help you thrive. So if you're ready to make your life just a little bit easier, hit us up at www.executivehelpnow.org. Y'all, today's guest is truly one of my favorite people on this whole planet. Her name is Rebecca Gunter, and she is a brand anthropologist and founder of Stoned Fruit, a brand strategy and messaging studio for businesses whose message has stopped keeping up with the work. Rebecca calls herself a brand anthropologist, which means she uses an anthropological lens to study what is actually happening inside a business, the culture, the language, proof, patterns, and founder truth, which then turns that into language that people can actually use. Her work pushes against a false choice many entrepreneurs get trapped in, the idea that you can either sound like yourself or you can sound credible. Rebecca believes that the strongest brands are both strategically sharp and unmistakably human. They do not perform professionalism. They build trust by sounding true. Today, we're talking about brand drift, founder bottlenecks, and why credible does not have to mean generic. Y'all, put your hands together for Rebecca Gunter.
Damn, girl. Every time I come on here, this introduction gets better and better. For you got a live commercial. What? And then you just, it's wonderful to watch you grow. I'm being sincere. It's wonderful to watch you grow.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It is wonderful to be in your presence. You truly blessed me. I promise. This blessed my whole soul.
I need that on a t-shirt, and I need to remember it when times is dark, when times are bleak. I need to look at my little mug and be like, what's Renee say? Okay.
Yep, you done blessed my whole soul.
Everything's going to be all right.
That's right. 100%.
And everything's going to be all right for the next 40, 60 minutes of conversation as well, because you are in charge of this amazing afternoon that we're spending together. So I just want to say thanks for inviting me back to be in the seat. It is so cool to share in your audience and message. And I'm really looking forward to getting into it because I'm hot on this topic, baby. I'm hot.
I know you are. And when you said 40 to 60 and then you paused, I could have swore you was going to say years.
Well, If you just stay tuned to the station break for this powerful supplement, we can all be in this conversation for the next 40 to 60 years.
No, well, but I mean, as good as this is, if we plan to be in business for the next 40 to 60 years, we need to pay attention to every single thing said in the next 40
What a segue. What a segue.
Right? So, Rebecca, you had talked in your bio about people having to perform professionalism. What does that even mean? What does that mean?
Ooh, girl, that's my named enemy right now, is performed professionalism. I think if anybody within the sound of my voice even just opens up LinkedIn, you'll see plenty of examples of performed professionalism. My favorite way to think about it is, I don't know if you remember way back in the day when we were watching 30 Rock with Tina Fey and Alec Baldwin. And in 30 Rock, Tina Fey wants to convince Jack Donaghy that everybody on the crew needs to go to Florida to sell a special segment because it's snowing and the weather is terrible in New York. And so this is her pitch. And so she just walks into his office with like placards and they just say synergy, alignment, communication, value, and she just drops the placards and he says, I'll take it. And to me, that's such a beautiful pop culture example of what is performed professionalism. And that is feeling so buttoned up that you can't even have a point of view, or just delivering the words that we think that people want to hear because we're used to hearing them over and over again. You know, when you read it, where something just feels like a resume speak is how I used to call it, resume speak, where there's just so much of a cover letter vibe to how you're presenting yourself. And we've all been there where you're, pent up and you've got to say the right thing. And if I don't say the right thing, if I don't sound professional, if I'm not asking us to circle back and put a pin in it and sidebar and have an offline conversation, if we're not using those words, that no one is going to take us seriously, that no one is going to find us to be credible. And I think that is really the conundrum that we find ourselves in when we're building our career and we're in our brands and our businesses, is you feel like I've only got this bank of words and language that I can pull from. And if I act like myself, no one will take me seriously. And then I'm never going to make it. I'm never going to make it if people don't take me seriously. And so I'm here as a stand for, you can sound like yourself. You can have personality. It is not about being a quirky, sticky brand with, a bunch of personality. I'm not trying to put words in anyone's mouth. In fact, I want you to use your own words. And those words are not often synergy and sidebar conversation. Or, when you go to a website and it looks exactly the same as the one you went to before, and they all start to run together because we're all afraid. And I think that's the core emotion underneath all of this, is we're all afraid that we're not going to be included in the business arena, in the promotion, in the conversation, in the sale. We're not going to be included if we use words in which people don't believe we know what we're doing. And so we're afraid of that. And then we all sound exactly the same. So I'm here to stand for being yourself and to being able to have personality and to sound like yourself and feel good in your skin and be taken seriously when you're living authentically, essentially. I know there's another word that sounds cliche, but it's really
living authentically. That was thrown around a lot.
Yeah, and I don't push back on individual words per se, Renee. Honestly, the big personality aside, it's like, be yourself, because one, that's the only way we're going to be able to connect with you. Two, it's the only way that people are going to really remember you or know how to refer you. Three, it's exhausting to perform professionalism day after day, year after year, masked relentlessly. And I'm just here to say we don't have to.
That's right. We absolutely do not. And I've seen some of the work that you've done with your clients, and you took them to a place of discovering who they really are at their core, what really matters to them, what makes them smile, what gives them energy and life, and what the core of their personality is all about. And then taking that and creating a whole entire brand around it for their profession. So it's like you tailored who they were to the profession instead of trying to make them fit the mold of the profession. Does that make sense?
You're preaching to the choir, Miss Ma'am. You sure are. Because that's what it's what we remember. Like, there's so much value in just being yourself. It's what we remember. It's how I know how to refer you. The language, even at the top of this hour, when you're like, if you need help with your back office or VA support, or you even want to start your own podcast, now I remember what to refer you for. And none of the words that you used in the top of the segment felt like they came off of a script, felt like they are not you're just saying what other people think they want to hear. It feels like you. And so I know you on a deeper level than I would if I was just kind of like reading a LinkedIn profile that was written from this kind of performative standpoint. And to be clear, it's not professionalism that I'm pushing against. I don't, I'm not advocating for us all to go through, just burn down the chinos and the sweater sets, and never again will we have office culture. I just want us to be ourselves and to know that it's okay to be yourself. You're not going to be excluded from opportunities if you're yourself and you're using your outside voice, your real outside voice.
But why do you think, though, Rebecca, that so many people feel like they have to choose, like they can't be their natural, real selves and still be perceived as someone who knows what they're doing?
I do think it's fear. I think we're all natural. I think we are innately, as human beings, conditioned to want to be in group. It's dangerous to be excluded. It could be the difference between your survival and your not survival. So we have this just innate humanity where we want to connect and be in group. So much of that is carried through language and meaning, how we're expressing and communicating that. If we do not see a bunch of examples of other people who are able to be themselves and still be credible and still be successful, then it becomes harder and harder to be brave enough to just be who you are. What makes your special sauce taste the specialist for you and your thing. We're afraid. And I also think that we've got this kind of false belief that credible doesn't mean that credible means generic, or the generic equals credibility. And the people who get to live that weirdness, who get to live that fullest expression of themselves and their weirdness, are on kind of like national stages, and we look at them, we're like, oh God, wouldn't it be great to be Weird Al, where he could just kind of be himself all the time. You always knew who he is. Wouldn't it be great to be Lady Gaga and wear a meat suit to an awards show and just be like, let your freak flag fly? It takes such a real moment of bravery, sincere bravery, to start being that person on day one. So somebody that you see as being out there they're kind of weird, they're really themselves, that's outside of the box, yet they're still getting record deals, or they're still signing book deals, or they're still on a TEDx stage, or they're still doing that and they're known for that thing. There's a bravery that you have to start being that before you're ever on the TEDx stage, before you're ever the CEO of a company, before you're ever being invited to a board, before you're ever in that sales meeting you maybe on paper don't have any business being in, but you've been able to sit, pitch, and sell it. You have to be brave enough to be yourself the whole through line to ever get there. We're not in a situation as a society or as humans where you're like, oh, I'll just be performing professionalism or performing small business owner or performing entrepreneur, fake it till you make it. That's what that expression means. I'll just be performing that until I get to undefined level of success here, and then I can be myself because I'll have made it. But the like juggernaut of it all is that you have to be yourself way before you ever get the stage of it, and we're all afraid of doing that. I come on Renee Speaks, the studio is up, the camera's on, the mic is there, and I feel like I've got to really represent in a way that makes you shine, makes me shine. I can't be too this, I can't be too that. I've got to keep it all constrained because I'm afraid of how I'm going to be perceived, and I'm afraid that that's being adjacent to you will make you feel some kind of way. And that is the least listenable podcast that ever was. When you come and show up contained, performing, mask on, ready to just stay safe. And when we put that down and just show up as ourselves, my God, is that memorable? Is it sticky? Is it compelling? Is it a reason to continue listening?
Yeah.
Usually show up with a sticky, juicy brand so everyone will notice you. Great. But if it's not you, what are you going to do with that 10 seconds you have eyeballs? Because it's not sustainable. So being yourself is the only way. What is the old quote? Be yourself, everyone else is already taken.
Right, exactly. Well, first of all, Rebecca, you are amongst friends here. And I love your all natural 100% true you. And
thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Our audience does too. And I'm just so grateful that you talked about how, it's like you can understand where people are coming from, why they do it, all the fear behind it. But, and even to the point where you say, well, they have this thing where they'll be buttoned up until they reach a certain level of success, and then they can let their real self show. Well, if they wait until then to let their real self show, they may shock the audience that they built, and their audience might think, who is this person? When it's actually the real you finally showing up.
And what a brand breaker.
Exactly.
This is so tangible. Like, imagine you're shopping. Let's just say, you know what? I need a business attorney. It's finally my time. I'm going to call Renee and see who she knows. And Renee's like, I got a great person for you. I'm going to send you their website. I want you to take a look. You go to their website, and the whole thing is like, we're the approachable attorneys. We're the people you can call all the time. We're the entrepreneurs, whisper, blah, blah, blah. And the language is really, you're like, oh man, that feels so good to me. I really want to align myself with someone who has that kind of approach. And then you call the office to make an appointment, and you're stuck in a phone tree, so it's not accessible. And then you come to the office, and it's very, the furniture is straight back, you like to sit in it. And then the people that you're interacting with are just very buttoned up. And I'm not saying no lawyer should be buttoned up. I am saying it's a mismatch. If I had come to your website and it had been yes, ma'am, we interpret the law, we manage relationships, we help set your expectations, the very kind of get the job done. Then when I got in the office, I'd be like, yeah, this is the get the job done people. Mm-hmm. But it's when those two things don't match that we lose trust. It becomes a brand breaker. It's tempting as a small business owner or someone building a personal brand or trying to launch a platform, write a book, produce a song, whatever it is you're trying to attract an audience to put forth some sort of a feel, a look, a feel, to project a brand. And then when people actually meet you, it's not the same thing. There's a conflict there, and it just breeds total distrust. And so it's super important for you to figure out who you are, because that's who you're going to be showing up as every day. And when people, then you want your stuff to match that. Your marketing, your reputation should precede you. That's its job. It's literally its job, is for your reputation to precede you. And if the stuff you're saying, the stuff you're writing, the stuff you're talking about, the way you're conducting yourself is all kind of masked up because you're afraid of being perceived as not credible, it's just not sustainable, and it actually hurts. It actually hurts you more than it helps, in my opinion.
I agree 100%. 100%. I don't know any other way to be but me. So, what you see is what you get. Like,
I mean, and look at the rewards of that. Look at the rewards of that. And it's not just like, oh, executive, I'm not so successful. Like, look at this podcast, 3 years. Amazing. We're seeing it from the outside. Yes. But what I see is a nervous system that's regulated. What I see in front of me is an entrepreneur who is not spending a lot of their energy trying to just kind of like wear their entrepreneur costume for the day. And again, I don't mean it's not real underneath there. But that's someone who is spending all of their creative energy maintaining a subconscious facade. It's not like, oh, I'm going to be fake today. It's just, I'm afraid not to use these words. I'm afraid not to present this way. I'm afraid to let my goofy, quirky, irreverent self out. So I'm just going to kind of sit here. That's somebody who's wrapped very tightly because it's a performance. And when I look at you, and I know you're not performing professionalism in any kind of way, you just are, I can see it in your nervous system, and I can read it in the way you present yourself online, and I can hear it in the way you talk. And so this is what brand drift does not look like, and that is you.
Awesome. I will take that and I will receive every single word of that. Because it's so, when you're not trying to please people and you're just doing what you feel like you're called to do, there's so much less pressure. It's just, I feel less pressure just being myself, and
absolutely. But that's not, it doesn't come naturally for everybody. It doesn't. I'm a recovering people pleaser. Boy, this was hard to get in alignment. You have to have discernment, and you have to be listening to your intuition. And I think that that's the gift that's carried you through and being yourself, because everything else is exhausting. Is that you have that intuition and you're listening to it.
Well, thank you so much for that. And I think it's too much effort.
Yes, it is.
I got time for that.
What could you be doing if you weren't doing that? What could you be doing?
Right.
And it doesn't just like, I'm sorry, I'm talking over you.
No,
it doesn't just hurt. It doesn't just hurt you like, oh, dang, now I need an extra nap. And what could I be doing with all this creative bandwidth if I wasn't trying to just prop up this thing I think other people want to see? Again, kind of like the button down version of an attorney, or the approachable this that doesn't match, is the ability to then be creative, to then be yourself. You're like, I'm exhausted, I don't have time to pretend. If you can get there, the things you can do with that repatriated energy is amazing. But it doesn't just leave you, it's also everyone around you. If you're performing your professionalism, again, and we do it for good reason. We're afraid to not be accepted. We're afraid we're going to fail. We're afraid no one's going to take us seriously. We're afraid they're not going to buy. We're afraid they're not going to refer us. But if you don't have your own word, if you're not showing up as yourself, then how does anybody refer you?
Right.
I don't know how to refer that person, because they're constantly saying one thing, but they're really kind of delivering something else. Or, you're the only one who can write blog posts. Oh my God, exhausting. You're the only one who can speak on behalf of the brand. You have to do all of that work on your own because there's no real clarity or interpretation around it. You're just wearing your business skin, and no one really knows who you are, and the team can't carry that forward. And your assets, your website, your LinkedIn profile, all of that, you think it looks good on paper, but it's doing you a disservice because nobody knows who you actually and really are. So that's why performative professionalism breaks my heart, because it feels like such a lost opportunity to make real and genuine, honest connections with people. And it's just about being afraid, really.
Right. And I think when that was so well said. And I think that when people stop trying to perform professionalism, they'll find that they are happier, they have more energy, they have no lies to try to remember that they
Oh my
told.
God. I need a Rolodex of everything I'm trying to make you think I am. Fake it till you make it. It's a dangerous phrase. It's a dangerous phrase.
Agreed. Agreed. 100%. And even though I have to kind of walk that back a little bit, because there are times when, even in being my true self, I find myself in situations that stretch me beyond my comfort zone, and I'm afraid to be there. Period. Whether it's my authentic self or performing professionalism. I'm just afraid to be there in this room. Like, how did I get in this room? What am I supposed to be doing here? But I'm here. I got the invitation and I showed up. Now what? And so it's in those spaces where I then have to fake it till I make it. And that's where I can see that helping, just at least to start taking baby steps until you actually really know what you're doing. But that's other than that, no, we're not faking nothing. We're just
I would push back on you. I would give you a little coaching around that and say, Renee, when you're in that moment where you don't know why, how did I even get here? Instead of starting with, well, let me just put my resume mask on and say the words that we're all in here being like, I don't know, synergy, no, simple, Instead of going there as you're safe, you're kind of like blanket to protect you until you can feel like you can be yourself. Just start with what's true. What is actually true? Oh, I've spent my whole life helping women empower themselves in business and to get really good at it by bringing in a bunch of experts who can help them, whether it's on my podcast or through a traditional channel. What is really true? I spent my lifetime helping women get great at business. That's what's actually true. And so if you can cling to that cloak instead of the cloak of like, oh, I'm just going to figure it out. I'm just going to kind of move along with the room until I can kind of get back on my feet. Imagine the impact you could actually have in that room. I'd rather you start with what's actually true and have quality conversations than fake it till you make it 3 times until you can finally get there. Again, that's, it's Lady Gaga in her meat suit has to come out in her meat suit when nobody thought it was cool. When everyone thought it was weird. Like Andre 3000 is such a good example of that to me from Outkast. Like, boy did not mask anything. Like that. And now considered one of the most innovative musicians on the planet, just came out with a flute album.
Wow.
If Andre 3000 had always acted like Big Boy, the flute album would be like, instead of being like, oh, that's kind of interesting, actually. Like, if anybody could pull it off, it's Andre 3000. But that requires start what's actually true. What's actually true for him. I'm a musician. I experiment. The instruments are my voice. Or I don't know. Andre 3000, if you want to come and do a Define Your Brand workshop, baby, I'm here to figure out like how to articulate your weird and what makes you weird. But he's a great example, I think, of Erykah Badu. I think is another great example of like, you got to be in the meat suit day one.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to hashtag Andre 3000 and we're going to hashtag Erykah Badu. And
on and on and on and on.
Oh man, it's one of my favorites.
I
So
know, right?
first of all, thank you for that coaching. Thank you for that perspective. And thank you for just seeing me and helping me be able to see things differently. the next time I'm in that situation, because I know there's going to be a next time.
It's going to be
going in these rooms.
Start with what's true.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what's true, that I think also, like, we can't always assume that everyone has like the power of attunement, right? If you don't know what's actually true, and you need to do some navel gazing around it, but you're in the meeting right now. You're in the meeting right now. Think back to the phrases that people repeat back to you all the time. Like I always hear, well, you're the word lady. Well, you're the word lady. You'll have to do. Well, you think to those times and use that to kind of ground you with what's actually true. I'm the word. I don't tell you, I'm the word lady. Just if you can't articulate it for yourself yet, and you will, but if you can't articulate it, just start listening, actively listening to the things that are showing up around you. What are the phrases that people use? And entrepreneurs, I will say, when a prospect repeats your own language back to you, you have made that sale. Well, just no brand deserves to be boring. Are you leading this sales call or am I leading this sales call? And it's not about just the canned responses you've been able to, execute enough paid marketing that you can't ignore it. It's really, how are you showing up in the world? How do you want to be remembered? How is your reputation preceding you? And now how can you embody that? Because we can all put a positioning statement together on a piece of paper and be like, this is me now. You have to embody it, or it's always just going to live on a Google Doc, or you'll show up as the uptight lawyer, but you've wrote a whole website about how you're the casual, cool, low-key lawyer, and the two of those just don't.
Yeah, they don't go together. And that's how you know when your brand is drifted. Like when you got the mismatch, it's like, that don't go together.
Yep. Or that nobody knows what you stand for.
Yeah.
There's never been more time where a POV is important toolkit in your business quiver. You cannot get away, in my opinion, you cannot get away in the business arena today without a perspective, without a POV, without some sort of message around what you believe or stand for, because the consumer is fed up feeding money to companies they don't know what they stand for.
Right.
And anxious to contribute and be part of something where someone declares, they put a line in the sand, they plant a flag, they say what they stand for. You have to name a real point of view. And then when you do that, you can replace vague polish with specific proof. And that language is what people will remember, carry forth, refer you for. And now the brand is carrying you. You're not performing it.
Yep. Agreed. 100%. Yeah, that's a mic drop moment right there. I wish we had a mic drop sound effect.
May, you have one job, and that's to get a mic drop sound effect by the next time I'm on this call. The next time I'm on Renee Speaks.
There we go. We understand the assignment. So, because we don't want the founder to be the only one knowing what the business is or how to explain what it is that you do. That, like you said,
can't grow it. I don't think anybody on the planet understands how important that is like you do, because you bring in fractional pieces of a team that need to integrate seamlessly with a founder or with a business. And if everything in that brand is living within the founder, it's nearly impossible to onboard somebody to know what actually is going on behind the instead of behind the mechanics of it all. You have to write every piece of content yourself. You have to start every sales call starting and explaining it from scratch. How can you grow? How can you expand? How can you scale when you're the only one carrying what the brand means inside you?
You can't. You absolutely cannot.
You stay stuck. And so there's so many reasons why it's important to discover it, articulate it, codify it, embody it, so then other people can carry it forth. You're like, your reputation precedes you. You're the word lady.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
Yep,
The goal is
exactly.
not to sound more clever, it's or sticky or have the better words. The goal is just to become easier to understand, repeat, refer, and trust.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
exactly.
sure,
And
repeat,
you
refer,
have
trust. Yeah,
repeat, refer, and trust. Repeat, refer, and
beautiful,
trust. I love it.
beautiful.
And we want everyone to be able to do that. To from the starting at the founder, going all the way down to their directors, from the directors to the managers, from the managers to the front line, from the front line to the clients. Everybody needs to be repeating the exact same thing so that the founder isn't the one living with all of it in their head
Inside.
inside
And
and no
and to
one
be
knowing.
exactly. And you're not going to get there with a brand book. Look, I do brand books, one of my favorite things in the world. I'm not poo-pooing them. But if I hand you a brand book and be like, absorb the culture now, you're good, right? You have to embody it. You have to show it in your brand is your reputation and words, actions, and images. What are your actions? How do you behave? And when you do that, the dishwasher in a restaurant is as much of a brand ambassador as the general manager or as the investor or as the chef de cuisine. When you embody that and it infuses into your culture, every one of you is on brand.
Yeah.
You're turning the whole thing into an experience that people want to be around versus just the words you hear. There's a difference between Chick-fil-A's My Pleasure. Most marketing people are going to be like, well, My Pleasure is such a branded experience, and they show that as like a good thing. And I do think it's a good thing. It's very consistent. You know, you're at Chick-fil-A. It's effectively working. But go into a mom and pop coffee shop where even the guy taking the trash out is happy to be there, and that's a branded experience. Like that is what you want to come back and be around, not just a performative line that people start to associate with you because you've thrown enough money at the problem.
Right, 100%. And I love, so brand books also could equate to, we call it our interactive training guide, where people learn the culture of our company and how we operate, how we treat people, how we treat one another, how we
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
company.
I can't wait to see that.
But further to what you said, it's not just read it and be done. This is something that we have to live every single day. And when we're talking to one another or we're representing the company to a client or our client to one of their clients, we need to stay on brand. And so it's not just this one brand book thing that I read when I first started working here, but it's something that I actually do. I live. It is who I am because I am a part of EHN.
Embodying it as culture, seeing a sample of it, turning it into a verb. If your culture turns your brand name into a verb, honey, you have absolutely made it. I worked, kind of before I went into this and was still bartending at a great, casual fine dining neighborhood spot called Bucks Fishing and Camping. And Bucks became a verb and an adjective. We didn't have to wear uniforms, so it wasn't performative, but everybody wanted to kind of dress in this way that felt like it was on brand. That means not that I go to the uniform store and buy things that are like black and would look good working in a restaurant. It means when I'm in the store, I'm looking for things that have a Bucks personality, and we would be like, oh, that's so Bucks. That's the Bucksest thing ever. That's such a Bucks thing to do. It meant you were living embodied. It meant I was buying shirts that it was kind of a fish camp kind of feel. So I'd buy shirts that had mother of pearl buttons or had a little sleeve, like a little cuff that had paisley and it had some personality to it. Or you'd wear jeans because the waiter's belt was a tool belt and you'd have boot cut or you'd kind of whatever. You're infusing the brand into the choices you're making, the language you use, the actions you have, the way you're showing up for your customers. And do you know what your customers want to do? They want to be around it.
Right.
They want to be around it.
That's right. I love that. I want for EHN to become a verb. I was like, oh, that's so EHN. That's
Exactly. I'm gonna EHN the hell out of that. That's to me, that's like I've executed the deliverable like nose to tail flawlessly, completely in alignment with like the business strategy and goals. And I'd be like, I EHN that, man. Like I just but you have to define what that means. What does it mean to EHN? What did it mean to be Buxy? What did it mean to, to be like, oh, that's the stone fruitish thing I ever saw. Like, peach and chief. Okay. Like it comes from embodiment. It comes from language, to the point of like brand anthropologist is shticky, like it's cute. I literally do have my degree in anthropology, and this is the lens because it's norms, rituals, language, ideas, ideals, not just logos, resumes, and I have over 20 years of experience in fill in the blank because that's not interesting to anybody.
Especially when AI can spit it out for you and 20,000 other people the exact same way.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up because this is a gift to AI. If you are an AI enthusiast, some of the audience may be, some may not be. If you are using it at all to build your communications, to plan, to strategize, if you want the results to sound exactly like everybody else in your field, continue performing your professionalism, continue faking until you make it, and you will get the same Liz Lemon placards of like synergy, innovation, integrity. It's not ownable enough. But if you take the time to define the brand, if you identify the guardrails of what that brand is, I came in here saying, I'm pushing it back. My named enemy is perform professionalism. What's your named enemy? Because that will impact how you talk about it. I'm here with a false belief that you can be credible and be yourself at the same time. I'm pushing back against that. Those parameters, that definition, that articulation allows you then to shape the results that you're getting from AI. So it's not just like, oh, well, can my dishwasher be a brand ambassador? It's also, is my agent pushing out communications that are unique enough to me, reflect back our brand and our personality, articulate who we are and what we're all about, expunge and embody our positioning. And the only way to do that is to do the work to figure out who are your people, what do they need, who are you, what do you deliver, and why are you special, different, or the one. Because if your message is mush, AI will scale that mush. And if you do it the way, if you put a very, what's the word? I lost the word. But if you like deeply articulate what your brand is, then when AI multiplies that language, it's still true. And that's what we're trying to get to. There's human distinctiveness matters in the AI age more than anything before. And it's not because, oh, I hate AI and I'm a copywriter and they took our jobs. It's because it works with the lowest common denominator. The large language models are pushing towards a middle. Yeah. So tell yours what you're really about. And if you do that, you can use these systems to the best of your ability and advantage, and it will not be a sea of sound the sames because you know who you are, and you're asking even your AI agent to show up on brand.
That's right. 100%. Because we can't take the human out of our communications. We have to have that human distinctiveness and AI together in order to truly present ourselves and our brand in the right way and not sounding like everybody else.
I argue it's a co-evolution.
It's a what evolution?
A co-evolution. We're co-evolving together.
Yes, 100%. A co-evolution of humans and AI together. So it's important to stay distinct and to build in those parameters that define you, specifically you, your brand, who you are, what you stand for, how you help. There are 5 things I think that you said, Rebecca, that we want to make sure that we stay in alignment with. And it's what makes you special, or the one is how it ends.
Oh, yeah. Who are your people?
Who are your people?
What do they need?
What do they need?
Who are you?
Who are you?
What do you deliver?
What do you deliver?
And how are you, or why are you special, different, or the one?
Why are you special, different, or the one?
Can you answer those questions? I would challenge anyone to take down a piece of paper right now and say, can you answer those questions?
Yeah.
Can someone else explain that without you correcting them? That's another good one.
Right. Exactly. And that is how you formulate your position and define your brand into AI so that it knows this is who we are. This is what we do. This is what makes us the one special. And I'm horrible at repeating the things, but you know what I'm talking about.
Why are you special, different, or the one? And also that you know it, because the results might come up from AI and you might be like, this sounds fantastic. I'm shipping this, like I'm going to use it. If you haven't done the work to figure out your own discernment, then you can't look at the results and be like, except that that's not why we're special. And to then go back in and continue to refine your model, except for that's not what our people actually need. Maybe in your case, we've done positioning before. That's a really wonderful episode to go back and revisit. I'm sure I can put it in the show notes.
Number 22. Yep.
Oh my God, look at you. And by the way, girl, when I was doing a little research to put together this presentation today, our positioning language showed up in the SEO search, and that made me really misty. I was like, guess what? Guess what? That's our language. Taking it off the Google Doc and bringing it into life.
Wow.
When you have that power of discernment, then you can come back and tell your AI agent that's not exactly what it is that we serve. We're not just supplying VAs.
Right.
We're not just running podcast services. We're not just making life easier for CEOs and founders. We're actually creating the infrastructure that integrates seamlessly with what you're already building so they can do more with what you have. Yeah. I'm pulling that out of the air a little bit, but if you don't know that level of articulation, and again, you don't need a professional brand strategist to figure that out, although it helps. You can do this navel gazing, although it helps. You can do this navel gazing, figure that stuff out so that then the results you're getting from AI, the results you get from a copywriter, the results you get from a graphic designer, the results you get from a sales meeting, what you heard in a referral, I'm alive. What you hear out there in the world is clear. It's not vague, warm and clear, not vague and confused. And in order to do that, you have to know yourself. And that brings us back to, if you know yourself, then you'll become allergic to using professional language to hide uncertainty, because that's all it's doing. It's hiding uncertainty. It's hiding vagueness. It's hiding fear. It's hiding your best stuff that's deep inside you that the world needs. You're hiding behind it. So get honest.
100%. So good. So good. So good. So good. So this has been such a wealth of information of getting to the root of who we are, not only as individuals, leaders, founders, what matters to us, but the importance of our reputation preceding us and what we need to do as leaders and founders to make sure that that is framed well so that everybody knows it and can repeat it and can be ambassadors on our behalf, which is what we want. We don't want to be the bottleneck where people everything has to come to us. We have to be the one to write all the things and the posts and all the. We don't have time for that. No way.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Would you rather stand in line and check out $200 worth of groceries in Safeway, or would you rather check out $200 in Trader Joe's? And the issue is because of the way the cashiers act. They embody the brand. Oh man, did you see the new purple cooler is out? That's such a cool color. Last season I got the teal one. What do you guys? It's embodied in the way that people talk to each other, and that is a brand thing. So like, imagine it's 4:00 on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Which line would you rather be in? And the answer is brand.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Because if you got to be in the line anyways, you might as well be in the one that feels best.
and because Trader Joe's is authentically themselves.
Yes.
They are not faking until they make it. And so if you're going to have to stand in line, you have to make a choice. And those are buying decisions that our clients and customers are making every single day. They're making a buying decision. And would you rather stand in line at Safeway, or would you rather stand in line at Trader Joe's? And the answer is brand.
Absolutely. 100%. I love that. I love that analogy. So as we get ready to wrap up, what last piece of advice would you have for our listeners?
The last piece of advice I have for the Renee Speaks audience is to just, when you're confused, unsure, afraid, nervous, like you're on your little baby deer legs, just ask yourself the following question. Am I sounding right, but not sounding true?
Oh, that's good.
You can have a beautiful resume. You could, again, 20 years of experience doing this, that, work for all the insert brand names here. But if it's not true, how can anyone ever actually know you? And if they don't actually know you, they can't talk about you, they can't refer you, they can't trust you, they can't communicate that to somebody else. And what are we even doing here?
Right. What are we even doing here? Why are you even in business?
What are we even doing here?
Right. Oh, I love that. Love it. Love it.
Do I sound right? Yes. Do I sound true? No. Then go back. And to the point of coaching, the little coaching we did, 20 minutes ago, ground yourself in what's actually true. Start there.
Do over. Yes, 100%. Rebecca, this has been awesome. How can people continue this conversation with you personally so that you can speak to them and meet them where they are for coaching or assessment or whatever, all the services that you have to offer? How can people reach out and learn more about how they can work with you?
Thank you so very much for asking. Insert pitch. We have a new little website here, which just came out a couple of weeks ago, which is cool, with our brand new messaging and a brand new logo. We've lost the marketing piece, and so this is pretty cool. It is a small, limited site. We're working on our WordPress baddie in the background, where we'll have lots of content with lots of Rebecca popping off on video and essays and all the things, and then an entryway to our services. I have a very small, intimate, deep dive personal coaching session. It's a 90-minute one-on-one with me where we work on this identity piece to help you figure that stuff out. And I'd like to offer the Renee Speaks audience 10% off of that little coaching package with the code Renee Speaks. You can get to that offer at brandventure.live and schedule a one-on-one with me, and we'll get into it. We'll unpack we'll figure out what's real, get rid of what's not real, and come up with a real action plan for moving forward as your authentic self. I'm also on LinkedIn. Connect with me there. You can email me, of course, Rebecca.Gunter at stonedfruit, STONED, FRUIT.com. Connect with me on LinkedIn. There's my little picture there. I love having conversations with folks about all things business, brand, and pop culture particularly. I can't not have some sort of little silly story from life lessons learned in box cake mixes and 30 Rock and South Park and all the things. So please find me on LinkedIn or on our website. And if you'd like to get a little bit deeper into your own articulation of yourself, please enjoy 10% off of brand therapy with the coupon code Renee Speaks.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much. That is so generous. And I, for one, can vouch and provide 100% testimonial of the practicality and the authenticity and the how truly life-changing a time with Rebecca is. And so
even 90 minutes, y'all.
Yeah, just 90 minutes.
Even 90 minutes will do the thing.
Don't walk, run. Click, get the brandventure.live link, type in Renee Speaks for your discount code, sign up to get some time with Rebecca. It'll be the best 90 minutes of your life, I promise.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you so much. See, if I wasn't myself, you wouldn't know how to pitch that. And that's how a brand carries beyond yourself. So thank you for showing the good work and being who you are.
You are the best, Rebecca. Thank you so much. You were made for something great. So go and be awesome.
I love that.